That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, everybody. It is the show we've all been waiting for. The first game preview edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thank you for being here. It's just, listen, it's a celebration. I don't know what else to say. I am just thrilled to be doing this episode, finally talking about an actual game that we will be able to see how Notre Dame is instead of months and months and months. And what are we going to get? What's it going to be? How are we going to be? How good are we going to be? We're about to find out. Thank God. Thank you for being here on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That'll help Johnny out as well. Notifications on, you know why. That way you alerted every time a new episode drops. I know you don't want to miss it. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish, or at Always Irish. Those emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it, you can get it. The call-in lines popping. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. That'll be good for the post-game show. Fighting Irish Wire every day of your life. Type it in the internets and then read articles I and others write about your favorite college football team. All right. It's been about, 7 or 8 months since we've actually had a Game 2 preview episode. I am excited. We are just ready. We're ready. The energy's cranked up. People are back into football mode. The weather a little bit. I know it depends where you live, but man, the last few days have been very football fall-y feeling to me. And I love it. I soak it in my soul, baby. So we've just been wondering, what if this? What if that? What's this going to be like? We're about to get our first result, okay? So let's start here. First and foremost, we're going to do a Friday. Here's what it's going to be for the end of the week. Friday morning, normal time, 9 to 11. Live call-in chat stream. We're also going to go live Friday night. And it isn't going to be like boring double dipping. It's two totally different groups of people. So we're still going to do the Friday morning, 9 to 11. And then we're going to go Friday night. And everybody will be maybe having a crack in a couple lids and feeling their way through the night before Notre Dame's first game anxiety, which is a big deal for all college football fans and Notre Dame fans. There is something so unique about the Friday before the first Notre Dame game. Just the excitement, the anxiety, the nervousness, just all of it. And we've waited forever for it. It's finally here. So we're going to share in all that anxiety together. So we're going live Friday morning. We're going live Friday night. And then, don't you forget, 1 minute after the Navy game, we're going live, opening the phone lines. I want to hear what you guys think. We're going live right after the damn game. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Okay. So, Notre Dame versus Navy in Dublin. First things first. Save me the history lesson. I know it. I'm well aware of it. They mention it in my favorite book, the Bible here. Oh, that's not the Bible. It's frankly in the Fighting Irish. Same thing, pretty much to me. Save me the history lesson. I understand it. I understand it all, and I still hate the Navy game every single year. The Navy game, I don't care the pageantry, and I hate the way this game looks, feels, and is played. Every year, 100%, I hate it. I hate it. It's by far my least favorite Notre Dame game on every schedule, no matter what, without fail. I just hate the way the game is played. It annoys me. It annoys me the way they play to shorten the game and be annoying and limit your possessions. And the way that offense goes when it's clicking, it just makes you pull your hair out. There's nothing to like. Then you already have that all built in. Then you have the game one nuance stuff built and layered into that. Game one rust, traveled to Ireland. They have a new coach. They might have two quarterbacks. Word on the street is their offense is going to want to throw the ball more than anybody's used to Navy doing. There's a lot of that week one nuance there to consider. So let's get into this. First off, while I think there are some minor advantages for Navy playing Notre Dame first with the new head coach, meaning there's no tape on this guy as the head coach or that offense coordinator, what he's going to want to do. Maybe he's going to try and sneak some big plays on us and stuff that we've never seen Navy draw up before, and it's first game of the new coach. There's the time to get it. He knows he's undermanned and under-athletic and undersized and all that. Maybe he wants to make a splash, take some chances in his first game to beat mighty Notre Dame. While you could argue that's an advantage for Navy, I actually think this game being right out of the gate favors Notre Dame overall. Couple main reasons for that. Number one is the preparation. Notre Dame's got over a month to prepare for anything and everything Navy might do to them. It is a way different amount of prep than you could do when the Navy game's shoved in a regular week in the middle of the season without a bye and you got a few practices figured out. So I do think all of that prep run-up time should be in Notre Dame's favor. Even if Navy's going to throw in new wrinkles, you know pretty much who they are, what they're going to want to do. I think that favors Notre Dame. But here's the bigger factor. This is a much bigger factor, and it's borne out by the numbers too. All right? The Navy offense is predicated on precision, rhythm, and perfect timing. Whenever that offense is rocking and it beats somebody or beats Notre Dame or stresses Notre Dame to the brink, it is precision, rhythm, and timing. The issue is it takes time to build that rhythm and timing. If you look back like a handful of years, Navy's offense has not scored a lot of points in game one. So even when they had Coach Ken, the old coach, and, the same thing going that they were used to all those years, and a lot of the same structures were in place, they still didn't start hot right out of the gate with whatever they were running week one. I think that could play to Notre Dame's advantage. All right. What is it? I forget the number, 17 points total they've scored in openers the past 2 or 3 years. Takes a while for that Navy offense to get cranked up. That should be in Notre Dame's favor. All right. Add into that they're also talking about messing with two quarterbacks, Levitai and Horvath. I highly doubt this is going to be a well-oiled Navy machine week one with all these moving parts. A new head coach trying to do new stuff on offense. You have some new personnel. You're trying to figure out what quarterback you have. And then you get into, I don't know, if you have two, do you have none? Does he know it's going to be one, but he's putting out there it might be two to make Notre Dame think a bunch of other stuff's coming? But I don't know. But I find it hard to believe with all of these moving parts, Navy's offense is going to be just clicking on all cylinders right out of the gate. I just find that hard to believe. So maybe you could see a couple loose balls in the backfield from some bad pitches or some blown up plays just because they're trying to put it all together. And if you're trying to put your offense all together and find rhythm and timing, you know what doesn't help that usually? Going against a team you're clearly outmanned and out-athletic and out-undersized against. All that stuff's working against Navy. So I said it before on the live streams, and I'm going to say it again. This year and every other year, this game, Notre Dame against Navy, is always and has always been way more about Notre Dame than Navy. They are what they are. Nobody, and it's not disrespect Nobody with eyeballs or a brain can dispute the size and athletic advantages Notre Dame has over Navy. All right? Nobody can dispute that. That's why I say the game's always way more about Notre Dame than Navy. The athletic and size and speed advantage has always been clear. The Navy outcome comes down to the same damn thing every year. Is Notre Dame doing what they should be doing? If they are, those are the years Notre Dame wins easy. If Notre Dame's not doing what they need to do and they mess around, then you're in a stressful dogfight. And then you do like last year where you give up 255 yards rushing and you put up 12 yards of offense the entire second half. Boy, genius, though. Boy, genius. Nick Saban just adopted him. He's a part of the family now. Boy, wonder genius. 12 yards of offense second half. 12 against Navy. And I'm the bad guy for questioning why I haven't seen the genius out of Reese. 12 yards. So that's what I mean when I say this game's always about Notre Dame, not Navy. What is Notre Dame going to do? If you come in there and you do things the right way, Notre Dame wins easy. And if you don't, it's just you want to pull whatever air you have left out. Okay? It's just basics, you guys. Defending Navy is just basics. Eye discipline, assignment-minded football, play recognition, all of that stuff. It's just so basic. I think it was J.D. Bertrand did an interview and a handful of days ago. And he said he loves playing Navy. And they're like, well, why do you love playing Navy? It's kind of a quirky offense to try and defend. Bertrand said he likes playing Navy because if you do what you're supposed to do, the play comes right to you and you make the play. Like he's saying, if you know your assignment and know what's going on and have that recognition and know the cues to look for of when it's going to be a pitch or a fullback run, whatever it's going to be. He's saying if you do your homework and you're disciplined and you know what's going on, plays come right to you and you shut it down. Because you're able to, you know right where the ball's going to go if you're doing everything right with the eye discipline and the assignments and the recognition parts. And all I hear about is how smart these Notre Dame guys are. Well, then pick up on all this. If you're all that smart, and I believe you are, pick up on all this stuff. Be where you're supposed to be. Make the plays you got to make. Be in the right position. Know your assignments. And I think in some ways, this is what I'm most excited for to learn out of this first game. I feel like, how do I say this? The cluster meter, okay, of we got this under control, 2012 all over again, versus last year, holding on for dear life, praying the final whistle goes off so you can beat Navy. Think about what a pathetic position that was. For me to be praying the clock runs out so we could save a win against Navy. Give me a break. That is just a pathetic position to be in, but there I was last year. What I think is going to be most telling about this game is it's going to let you know where Notre Dame's development and maturity as a team is entering the year. That, I think, is going to be the biggest indicator. If they come out and they have control of this ball game and they're shutting down whatever Navy wants to do, and then we'll get to what I need us to do on offense. But if we're doing all that, that's a great sign, especially defensively. That would tell me, all right, these guys are on the right track. They have good leadership. They've been paying attention to all the stuff you got to do. That would be a great indicator that this team is ahead of schedule of where I want them to be. And on the cluster meter, if it's anywhere near last year, that's going to breed a lot of anxiety. Even if Notre Dame wins, you're open year 2 of Al Golden, and this defense that a lot of the media thinks is way deeper and more athletic than last year's. There's no reason for it. No reason for it. Being game 1 and Notre Dame having over a month to prepare for everything and anything Navy might try, I have no patience for anything dumb working against us. Notre Dame should be sick and tired by now of analyzing what Navy could try and do or is going to want to do and the regular stuff they do that's annoying, whatever. This defense is getting a ton of great things written and said about them from the media all camp. Back it up or it's all worthless. All of that. The D-line looks great. The rotation's better than we thought. The linebackers are going to be great. Best corners we've had in 25 years, John. All of that. Whatever. I want to believe all that. But if all that's true, then you shut Navy down. If all that stuff's true, you shut Navy down. You do what you're supposed to do. So I need them to back up all of those media reports. Shut this stuff down. All right? How about this piece of advice from Coach Johnny here? Somebody pay attention to the damn fullback. Fofana, banana, ranana, whatever. No. Just no. It's junior high stuff to let a Navy fullback just the great C parts, and there's Fofana banana with no Notre Dame guys around him. No. Unacceptable. It's just rule one of stopping the option. And last year the guys running wild and we didn't have an answer. It's unacceptable. That's junior high defending the option stuff. We weren't doing right last year. So just my little suggestion, maybe this year it'd be a good idea to have somebody knocking the shit out of the fullback every play. Just follow the basic rules, the basic tenets of defending Navy offense. Just follow those rules, would ya? Don't fall for any tricks. That's the next part of this. I'm all wrapped up in the option because I hate it so much. That's the other part of this. Every report I've seen about Navy and about the new coach and what they want to do different and looking into Navy media, not Notre Dame media, what our people and I am saying about them, looking at the people looking at Navy football, they are all saying they're going to pass the ball more this year. They're going to pass the ball more this year. I'm telling you right now, you guys, I can't handle, I could see it in my mind already. I'm calling it now. It would be the most Navy Notre Dame thing ever for, Navy to be running the option, blah, 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 blah. And then Notre Dame's getting used to that. And we're up near the line of scrimmage. And then they do a little pitch or whatever. And then the guy pitches it back to a guy. And then they throw it for 60 yards. And all the Notre Dame defenders are up at the line, sucked in, fell for it, wrong first step. And then we get bombed over the top by the mighty Navy passing offense. I can already see it in my mind and I hate it. I hate it. Don't allow it. I'm going to lose my mind. You have all August to prepare for every trick in the book. If we fall for it, I'm going to throw a brick through the TV. I'm going to throw a brick through the TV. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. So be ready for that. Let's flip it over to Notre Dame on offense, shall we? This is where I think it gets really, really interesting. On defense, we pretty much know what's needed. That doesn't really change that much against Navy, except for maybe the part where they're going to throw it more this year, and you got to be aware of some tricks with the new guy. But generally speaking, the basic tenets of defending Navy have never changed. So let's flip it over to offense. What do you guys think we're going to see? A fairly balanced run-pass attack? Or do you think they're going to try and lean on estimate early and see if we could get more guys to come in the box and then throw it? Or do you think that Parker and company are going to come in there and go, we got Sam Hartman, we ain't messing around, and bombs away on Navy early and often? Come out throwing it all over. A bomb to Merriweather on a post, the first play on offense. Or, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just asking, what do you think we're going to see? There's a lot we don't know. It's year one for Hartman at Notre Dame. It's year one for Notre Dame's offensive coordinator. It's year one for Notre Dame's offensive line coach. It's year one for a lot of the receivers that are going to be in the mix. I'm not sure exactly what to expect. I don't know what you guys want to see. Do you want to see more of a balance? Or do you want to see him maybe lean on that running game and see if we could get a bunch of yards out of that and make them come up and then you burn them with the pass? I mean, it's not rocket science when it's Navy's defense. Like so I just don't know what we're going to see and what that game plan's going to look like. If it's going to be more balanced or I don't know. And so there's just a lot of year one stuff here on Notre Dame and Notre Dame's end, and it just makes think about what you're going to see. Keep in mind too, Navy plays to shorten games because they know they're at a size and talent disadvantage. They want to shorten that game. That is how they play. That is the tricky part about this. And you could argue maybe it being game 1-2. Just like I said, Navy might come out a little rusty game. Well, Notre Dame might as well. Their offense might not be clicking right away. The problem is you put a ball on the ground or go 3 and out a couple times in the first half. That's time against Navy. That's the issue. Your margin of error is smaller playing Navy because you don't get as many possessions. Couple 3 and outs, ball gets punched out going the other way. Now you're in a dogfight against Navy. All right? That's what's tricky about this. This offense needs to be on point. I want to see it all. Crank that run game. And then I want to see Hartman sling it, which should be very easy to do against Navy. Does the offensive line worry you? Navy's defensive front certainly had their way with the offensive line last year. 12 yards of offense the whole second half. And I know a lot of it was Pine and his limitations, but Navy threw the kitchen sink at Notre Dame and nobody had any answers. Not the players, not the coaches. We had nothing. We had no answers. There was no adjustment off Navy's adjustment out of the half. We just let them beat our brains in. It's bad defensive playing, bad defensive coaching. It was bad offensive playing and bad offensive coaching. Nobody had any damn answers for anything. And you're just lucky the clock ran out and we were ahead because it was trending in a bad direction. So does that worry you? Here's one reason I don't think it should worry you as much. If Navy wants to throw the kitchen sink at Notre Dame's offense and just all out going after Hartman or whatever, unlike Pine, Hartman's going to kill them on that. They might get home once or something. Hartman's going to, over time though, Hartman's going to win that. He is going to address it, know where somebody's coming from, and then just hit Tyree on the bailout and he's gone. Like, Hartman's able to do that in a way Pine's not, to calmly know where that outlet is. And if you're getting a bunch of this dump here, a bunch of rush at, he's just going to dump it to Tyree and it's a borderline screen, a slip screen and he's gone, or dump it in the flat and there's room. Hartman's going to be able to navigate that pressure a lot better than Pine did, even if the offensive line is doing a bad job at it, like they were last year. Hartman's going to do better than Pine with that adjustment. So I'm confident in that. But I got questions at those guard positions, and I know Navy's going to try and throw a lot to confuse those guards. Might not want to mess with the tackles, but they're going to do a lot of stunts and delays and different stuff to try and get those guards confused and off balance. They're going to. So we're going to find out quick how much those new guards adjust. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't. This is an uncomfortable discussion because game one always gets more build-up and prep about it than any other game because it's game one. You have all summer to talk, all camp to talk about that first game. But when it's Navy, it's hard. I want to give them some respect But I also want to toe the line of not acting like I'm scared of Navy's personnel. That's not it. It's about how we handle their personnel. It ain't about them. It's about how we handle them. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. You get to Ohio State and USC, it's about what they do too, because they got real ass talent. This is different. This is a different kind of challenge. Shut it all down. Take care of business. Here's some keys that I see. Number one is get ahead early. Get ahead early. If Navy does not, they're never been built to play from behind. If you get ahead of Navy, then you got them in a bad spot. Okay. And the way they eat up the clock, if you're behind against Navy and they're eating all that clock, that's a bad spot for you. Get ahead of Navy early. Usually I want to play defense first in most games. Against Navy, I might take the ball first and go ahead and get 7 on the board right away. I might do that in this game. Generally, I like putting the defense out there to ease into the game, get off the field, and then you get that extra possession out of the half. This game, if we win it, I might take the ball first and go put up a quick 7. Okay? But getting ahead early is always a key against Navy. 2, limiting Navy on early downs. That was a huge problem last year, was against USC as well. But when you start giving up 5 or 6 yards to Navy on first down, that's right where they want to be, and they can do whatever they want to do. That's the first thing about defending them. You got to shut them down on early downs and get them behind schedule, behind the chains. So limiting Navy on early downs. Number 3, no big chunks. No, I'm not watching Fofana Banana running wild, all right, down the middle, wide open. If they're going to get what they're going to get, make them earn it. You can't have any huge busts against Navy, all right? Number 4, no tricks. This ain't Halloween. It ain't trick or treat yet. I don't want to see Notre Dame falling for any tricks. You have all camp to prepare for these pitch back throws, whatever. I'm not going to be able to handle it. When everybody knows they're going to do something tricky, everybody's been talking about it all fall camp, and they want to pass more. Like all of the signs are there. Don't fall for it. I'm going to blow my stack. And number 5, take what's easiest to get on offense. This is not hard at all. If you have a light box, pound it with Estime. If they start loading up more guys, Hartman has a field day. Like, it's just, that's not a hard. Navy doesn't have the personnel to do much else. So if you're going to run a light box and let Estime pull those guys for 6 or 7 yards up the gut, go for it. But if they're going to devote more guys up by the line, if Hartman can't have a field day against these small guys, it's going to be a long year. This should not be hard for Notre Dame offensively in any way. Take what's easiest to get. Or if you're good enough, take what you want. Take what you want. I like that better. But take what's easiest, or take what you want if you're good enough to do it. I repeat, this game is all about where Notre Dame is at. Notre Dame's preparation, Notre Dame's attention to detail, what we do. With over a month to prepare, I expect a comfortable win, or there's going to be a lot of anxious Notre Dame fans. If this is another sweat it out type deal, there's going to be a lot of anxious Notre Dame fans. And even then, if it's a win, but it isn't pretty and there's a lot we don't like, I don't know where I'm going to fall. I have to see what it looks like. But people are going to say, it'll look a lot better week 2, because you always get that, or you should theoretically get that week 1 to 2 jump improvement in play people talk about. And also, you won't be playing Navy again. So it'll be more of traditional football, what we're used to, not the goofy Navy stuff you got to deal with. So even if it's a win and it isn't pretty, I do see a path that some people are going to say, throw a lot of this out because Navy's just so weird. And then we see what we do against Tennessee State. So I don't know, you guys. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know What am I missing to bring up? What did I hit? I would really like to know what you want Notre Dame's offensive game plan to be like. That is so intriguing to me. They could do whatever they want to do. I'm really interested to see what exactly the plan is. The run pass balance, the aggressiveness. How much do they let Artman rip it versus want to not do that? I don't know. So I'm very interested in it. And then, of course, I'm really interested to talk with you guys after the game and see what everybody thinks. But let me know, what did I miss? What do you agree with? Is there anything you disagree with? Again, I'm not trying to disrespect Navy. It's just that the talent, size, and speed differences are so exaggerated. It really is more about what Notre Dame's going to do or not do than anything Navy does. And I mean that as not an insult to Navy, just a physical fact of this matchup. I think Notre Dame should win it fairly comfortably. And if they don't, I'm interested to see what goes wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Enjoy the first game. Let's go.